So we're hearing news that Joe Biden and President Xi Jinping are going to meet at the APEC meeting. That's the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation get-together, the APEC meeting. I feel this is worse than sending Franklin Roosevelt to the meetings in World War II because he was out of sorts. Joe Biden is worse. This is going to be a Yalta times 10. I mean, Joe Biden will give away the farm and tell jokes about things he doesn't know what he's talking about. This is dangerous for America, is it not?
Absolutely, Steve, and please be noticed that since Xi Jinping's last time to the United States, it has become 7 years. And last time he was visiting President Trump at Mar-a-Lago with a top PLA general, Fang Fenghui. That general was arrested 10 months after. So this time, when she sends out his delegation team, I don't know who will survive ultimately, to be honest. And I think that the American businessman or the American entrepreneurs should not be just looking at the interests of the Chinese market. They should be also asking how many interests of the United States have been stolen by the CCP. Today, the United States is facing challenges like the trade surplus, currency depreciations, and even exchange rate manipulation against the United States dollars. And these losses of the U.S. are incalculable. So when Xi conducts his visit this time, he would like to show, to the African and Asian country that he remained the world dominant leaders. And I think this is highly sensitive and highly dangerous to the United States.
Yeah, I've been talking to some people who have been back and forth to China in just the last couple of weeks. And they say it's kind of a smokescreen. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, well, the factories are running at 30-40% capacity. A store's not full. People not moving around much. He said the economy in China right now is terrible in all the places he goes, and he goes all over the country. I didn't realize that. What have you heard about that?
Absolutely, Steve. Remember, more than 600 million of the Chinese deplorables whose average monthly income is below $150. This was even pre-COVID times. And the data here now, it becomes even worse. And this is primarily why she wants to, emphasize and stipulate the economic cooperation with the United States. However, the Chinese Communist Party will not honor any of the commitment with the United States because their real goal was to weaken and defeat the U.S. Their real goal was not to seek any sustainable development with the United States. And if we remember that, President Xi had been attempted and even infiltrated the United States by all of these businesses as well. Look at Huawei, look at the battery factories, and look their land acquisition on strategic locations of the United States. These economics have imposed huge threats to the U.S. soil.
Of course they are, absolutely. So let's talk about other threats and how this all connects, because people don't realize China's, and I don't know why China would do this. I don't see what advantage they get, but they've been funding indirectly terrorists because the foreign minister giving vague questions about potential Hamas delegation visits to Beijing. Hamas is going to go to Beijing. Really? This is how we're going to operate. Plus, we know that they're giving money to Iran, to Russia, to others that are the Chinese. It doesn't make any sense. The Chinese Communist Party, to be clear. But what about a Hamas delegation, a terrorist delegation to Beijing? Is that going to happen?
Steve, if we look at the spokesman's answers to that question, he really is avoiding, answering that question directly. And one of the ironic things is right after that spokesman giving that briefing yesterday, we saw a large number of Chinese social media accounts who are confirmed as propaganda agencies or propaganda accounts start to advocate that China, the Chinese Communist Party, has the right to meet with Hamas delegations. They have not denied that the CCP remained in contact with Hamas in the past, and the Chinese Communist Party had never officially categorized the Hamas delegation as a terrorist organization. And if we look at what strategy that Hamas has been using to attack Israel, it's the same strategy of the CCP, the military fusion strategy. When Hamas buried a bomb in Israel hospitals, it's the same thing that the Chinese Communist Party had been doing in mainland China. The CCP's military infrastructures had been scattered around hospitals and schools for decades. The Chinese Communist Party is supporting the terrorism externally and internally threatening the deplorables' lives.